everyone. Welcome to the Spinneys 92 Cycle Challenge, or which also hosted the UCI Gran Fondo Dubai. I believe this was the second edition they hosted the UCI Gran Fondo. Um, to me, it was just basically another race for fun with a lot of the local guys. Most of the field was pretty much local people, and all the people that I ride with normally day to day usually or did show up for this race. I don't think anyone was missing. Um, for this race, there was a big peloton, and this race is actually known for having a lot of crashes in the past. Our group was maybe a little too big, maybe 120 guys on this group. Most of the guys have really decent or good handling skills. I obviously am a triathlete, and obviously I don't think I have the best handling bike skills, but I just can get around. You'll also notice that usually I just don't get too close to the guys riding in front of me, mostly because number one goal is not to crash. Not that everyone else is trying to do any stupid thing, but I do feel like I take way less risks on road races than I do on triathlon races. The race started obviously pretty fast. The course is completely flat, goes to Al and back, or starts at the Autodrome and then goes to Al and back and spins around and back to the Autodrome. There were a lot of guys on this peloton. You can see Team CBI had maybe 7-8 guys. Frontier Sports had 7 guys. Cycle had maybe 20. Cycle Hub was also very well represented. Because I ride with most of these guys on the day-to-day basis, I kind of know which ones are good wheels to follow, but then you also know which ones are the dangerous mans. I mean, if you want to get on the breakaway, you do know which ones you want as your partners on that breakaway. I myself, again, I just try to stay safe. You'll notice that 80% of the time I ride on the left of the peloton just because it's my comfort zone. For those that don't know, I don't hear anything from the right ear, so I always prefer to be on the left side just to hear incoming traffic from the left. So I tried a few times to get on the breakaway, like on this case where I had Victor ahead of me here and Johan from Cycle Hub, a guy from France that was taking huge pulls. I think he's from France or Italy, and I was really struggling here. It was basically only 5 of us. I really made a big effort just to get on this breakaway, and I basically had nothing. I tried to help, but I was very on the limit. Victor here is pulling to the side. He did his fair amount of work on this small pack. I honestly thought this breakaway would make it, mostly because this guy right here, he was very strong. Each pull that he took was like right on the edge. I tried to help a few times, but I just basically had nothing. When eventually we did get caught, and a few more breakaways were attempted by a lot of guys, but I guess there were just so many on the lead pack that the breakaways for 60-70k were constant, and there was always someone willing to chase. And here you see, as soon as the peloton catches up again, another one attacks, and it was constantly like this most of the time. There were a few very sketchy moments, especially on the turns. But as you can see, the road was very open, and also as you can see here, I always try to ride as close to the left edge as possible, always trying to keep a decent um, distance between me and the front guy, which eventually plays against me because obviously I may be safe, but I'm also spending a lot more energy to just stay with the group. Um, Constant attacks. There was Simon from Cycle Hub. He's a very strong guy, and as this little guy here, he's little because he weighs like 50 kilos. He's Jay. He rides for Trek, and it's always a good wheel to follow as well. He also always tries to get on the breakaways and tries to make a run for it on a small breakaway. But on this case, it wasn't really going anywhere. Um, Here we're rolling back into the city, and you can see the pace was kind of mellow. Eventually, I guess here I tried again to go for another breakaway. Callum Anderson here riding for cyclist. He's a pretty strong guy. He rides internationally, so he's also a guy too that I try to follow if I see him go away. This breakaway didn't actually go anywhere else. Also, at some point, this is already on the final stages. At some point between or on the final 15k, we had a 6-man or 5-man breakaway, which contained my teammates David Williams and Andy Mack. And so after that point, on that final 15k, both CBI who also had a man on the breakaway, and Frontier stopped, or the boys kind of just went to the front, but not to do a lot of work, mostly to keep the pace mellow. As you could see from now on, there were a few sketchy moments like this, where my wheel almost touched the front wheel of CBI guy there. I continually stopped, or I continually lost ground on this final kilometers getting into the Autodrome again. There were just way too many people. We were going way too much, or we had way too much speed. It was just not worth it for me to take any risk. And as I got more towards the back of the peloton, the ride got even more sketchy. There were some bottleneck places where you try to squeeze 150 guys going 50k an hour into a small entrance to the track here. And here we're back on the track. As you can see, there's a lot of guys ahead of me. These turns are way more tight than they look. I'm surprised the cars go so fast. Then there you have some guys doing some pull-ups there, which also doesn't help keep the peloton stable. There's a lot of guys in front of me. So here's we still have the 5-man breakaway. On that 5-man breakaway, David and Andy, or David eventually won, so that was good for us. Andy got 5th overall and 2nd elite, but here everyone was pretty much just trying to sprint to 6th and 7th place, and obviously I'll let you watch this final stages when we approach the final K of the run, which was pretty cool. Coming back into the Autodrome, there was one or two more moments where I thought, well, this is it, I'm gonna crash. Luckily I made it live. No crashes. I do know that a few people crashed, so wishing them a fast recovery. And you'll see here there, and I almost missed that corner, and here I said, okay, this is not worth it. I'm just gonna stay back, relax, cruise to the line, and just enjoy the view, because we do finish with a lap to the around the Autodrome, which is again pretty cool. Um, you also get the chance to ride this course every Wednesday night. I do know Cycle Hub has group rides. Try Dubai has transition or brick sessions every Wednesday on this course, so you're more than welcome to join them. And here this is the finish line, and here David congratulated him for the win, and that was it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was not too boring for you, and I'll see you guys on the road.